name is RJ Jackson. I'm a graduating senior political science major, international studies minor student on the pre-law track from St. Louis, Missouri, and I serve as the 93rd SGA president at Morehouse College.
All right, and as the SGA president, what are your responsibilities? I know you have a lot.
Yeah, I would definitely say as SGA president, some of my responsibilities include, so I oversee the 93rd Student Government Association Administration. We call ourselves the Visionary Administration, and in there we have about 25 secretaries who all have different, sort of roles on campus, working with different departments on campus. We have career development, athletics, campus operations, just overseeing kind of all of campus life. And then in there as well, I work with my counterpart, my brother Josiah Harris. He's the 88th vice president, and so he sits over as the president of the 95th Royal Senate session this year as well. So I would just say for me as SGA president, so I oversee kind of like the administration, but then also trying to be the voice for the students. I think that's one of the kind of things that you're tasked with when you're SGA president is we don't really have like a Mr. Morehouse here. So anytime the school needs to be represented on like a national scale, anything like that, they're always calling on me. And so I don't take that, responsibility lightly. I definitely take a lot of pride in it as well.
Okay, and what's the most challenging aspect of being the SGA president? Having to do all these things on the school campus. What do you find the hardest?
I would definitely say time management. I think that's one of the things that I've been working on over this past year and over my time at Morehouse as well as definitely time management, because kind of like I said, there is no Mr. Morehouse. So I'm kind of like that person that if they need somebody, to go speak at an event, that's me going over there. If they need somebody to, walk Miss Maroon and White, that's me walking Miss Maroon and White. But I would definitely say working, with my calendar and making sure, okay, if I can't be somewhere, sending somebody on my behalf. If I can be somewhere, making sure I add it on my calendar and give myself, the proper notices of, hey, this is what I have going on. But I would definitely say it's still something that I take like very, very, very high regard. Like even though it's a lot of time, I still wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
And you talked about time management being like one of the hardest aspects of it. Do you believe that applies to most students? And if not, what do you think are the biggest weaknesses for most students that go to school?
I would definitely say I feel like one of the things that a lot of people struggle with is time management. Just in general, I know that was one thing. When you come to college, like you're on your own time, like you have your classes, you sign up for your own classes whenever they want to be. I know like when you're in high school, you go to high school, you go to your school at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and you're there like all day. If you play sports, you're there after school. So there's like, it's structured for you. But when you get to college, like you literally structure your whole life. So if I have classes, I think on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I only have class from 9 to 9:50 and that's it. So from 10 o'clock to whenever, like until the next day starts, that's literally my own time that I have to like sit and block out for what I want to do. So that's I think that's a new concept for students when they come into college. It's like, okay, now time is in my hands, basically.
Yeah, so you were talking about your schedule and all. For somebody that's coming into the school as a freshman, what would you recommend in order to have the best type of schedule for themselves?
I would definitely say don't take any 8 a.m.s like for classes. I think the last 8 a.m. I took was my first semester, my freshman year. And I didn't really listen when people were like, an 8 a.m. in college is not like an 8 a.m. in high school, because in high school you like literally have to be at school just regardless of what class starts first. Yeah. But in college it's like, dang, now I gotta wake up, get dressed, go walk to class. And it's like, for me, I had an 8 a.m., but I didn't have classes until like the afternoon after that. So it's like, okay, don't take an 8 a.m. I would definitely say also make sure you're building your schedule along the lines of like with things that you're interested in. Like I know I'm very interested in communications. I'm studying political science, but I worked in communications the past summer in Washington, D.C., so I made sure I took a history of the Black press class to learn a little bit more about, the Black press and communication. But Morehouse is a really cool place to definitely give you different experiences and different, classes that you can take to make sure that you're cultivating yourself and your own interest as well.
Okay, and you said you're majoring in political science and you did communications. Do you plan on being an attorney, or what's your career plans?
Yeah, so I'm majoring in political science and minoring in international studies. And right now the goal is to go to grad school and get my master's in international studies, and then going back to Washington, D.C. to work kind of in the communications field on Capitol Hill or in the White House. White House next couple of years, not right now, but I would definitely say on the Hill, I worked in a communications pod in a senator's office this past summer, and it was a lot of fun just to kind of be there and kind of be moving around, because it's a very active, active environment on Capitol Hill too, especially in the communications field.
Okay, and someone that wants to go into political science who may be in high school or maybe their first or second year in college, what should they expect when they take this major?
Definitely a lot of different changes because the world of politics literally changes every 4 years and every 2 years after that. Because we have our presidential elections every 4 years, and then 2 years after the presidential election, we have our midterms. So it's like it's not always going to be like a stagnant field. Like you're going to have an election shake up the entire political landscape, and next thing you know, like November 4th, everything's normal. November 5th. The election happens November 6th. It's like, okay, now some people on one side have to go start looking for new jobs. So it's like the political realm is very, very, it switches up a lot. But that's just something you're gonna have to kind of just sit and be like, okay, I still have a mission here, and I still have to do something. I still need to work. So I still have to keep fighting for sure.
Okay. And you were talking about internships. What would you recommend in order to succeed in acquiring one of these internships for yourself?
I would definitely say network. Morehouse is a really good place to make sure like they offer you like networking skills and networking environments to be in, to make sure that their students are definitely getting what they need and making sure that they're getting the most out of their Morehouse experience. Like I would say so I didn't have an internship my freshman summer going into my sophomore year, because for political science majors, most of the internships are for juniors and seniors and sometimes sophomores. So I did kind of some different experiences. So I went out to LA and studied, shadowed a lot of judges and attorneys and things like that in LA during my freshman and sophomore summer. But my sophomore into junior summer, I actually interned at UPS Global Public Affairs in Washington, D.C. And that was literally a networking I got that through networking with one of my professors. He had a friend that was a vice president at UPS Global Public Affairs and was looking for specifically a Morehouse student coming to intern for them, or else they were going to shut down that part of their internship program. And my professor had been talking to me. I had been networking with him just throughout the school year, having him as a teacher. He sent all my essays in, and then I just like had a 10-minute interview and then got hired for the job. So it's like there's that networking, and then also I went on a program called March, which stands for Morehouse Advocacy Reaching Capitol Hill. And I got reconnected with a Morehouse alum who serves as the communications director for Senator Raphael Warnock, who's also a Morehouse alum. And I got reconnected with him because we worked together on Students for Warnock, which they had a chapter on campus when Senator Warnock was running for re-election in 2022. So I met him then, and then I reconnected with him during this trip that Morehouse sponsored down to DC, where we did political research and we presented our research on Capitol Hill and then the White House and different things like that. And then literally sent him my resume, and then in January he was like, just follow up with me. I followed up with him in January, and then they hired me on just like straight. They were like, this is our intern for the summer. He's coming from Morehouse. He's gonna be a good guy. And that's just how, like, it's just the power of networking, I would say. So definitely make sure as you come in as a freshman, attend the networking events, attend the the department honors, attend all the department functions, things like that, because it'll really go a long way.
Okay, and as a freshman, I've struggled with getting my information out there as a incoming freshman into the school. What would you recommend for somebody that is coming into the school? Just to focus on the networking, or should internships still be on your mind?
So focus on the networking, and when you start networking, don't go into it just looking for something. I think that was one of the things that that was really touched on when I was like first coming into Morehouse. Don't just like immediately walk up to somebody and say, hey, my name is RJ Jackson. I'm a political science major at Morehouse. I'm looking for an internship next summer. No, you don't want to go up and just start off a conversation, because some people might think that you're like looking for handouts. So it's like, okay, introduce yourself, start to build a bond. I know when I was doing the Students for Warnock, I met the communications director, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I go to Morehouse. He's like, I went to Morehouse. We started talking, things like that, and just built that relationship. And then the offer came to, hey, if you're looking for anything, let me know, and we'll stay connected in the future. So don't go into a networking environment just automatically like looking for handouts, but go in looking to build relationships. And then once people see your character, because they're going to see it, I believe everybody has potential and has a good character as well. They're going to pick up on your character, especially you being from Morehouse. Like, that's very prestigious. And then they're going to say, okay, we see the type of person this young man is, we're going to work with him. And so let them offer that. But I will also say, go to the career office. Our career office on campus is like, I know some people would just be like, well, I don't see it all the time. It's in the back of the cafeteria, like by where Mays Hall is. Our career office literally like works to get students in different places, like in different companies, Fortune 500 companies, all these different companies around the world. Literally, I'm going to Tokyo with the career office in March for free, and they're taking us on a career development trip in Tokyo for free. Like, I'm not paying a single penny, no bags, no flights. I'll probably pay for like souvenirs and stuff if I want to, but everything else is free, the meals, all of that. And so our career office literally works to make sure that students have jobs not only in college but also after college as well.
Okay, and speaking to incoming freshmen or people in high school in general, what's one piece of advice you would give to them to help them succeed while going through school?
I would definitely say one of the things my mom has been telling me recently is like comparison is the thief of joy. So when you get here, like I think that was one thing my summer going into my sophomore year, I was like really like comparing myself. I'm like, okay, all my other like friends have internships and they're out working and they're making money, and I'm like, I was doing a lot of stuff. Like I was doing leadership camps, I was leading leadership camps, I was traveling, I was going to LA for the law experience. So I was doing stuff, but I was like, as for like an actual internship, I didn't have one. Like a lot of mine were experiences and they weren't paid. But I realized my mom always tells me, like, again, comparison is the thief of joy. So don't compare yourself to other people when you get in. Make sure you surround yourself with people that are going to uplift you. Like I know my friend group, we've been the same friends since freshman year. And when one person eats, everybody eats. If one person gets an internship, everybody celebrates. Like surround yourself with people that are going to celebrate you for you. And it's not like a competition between, it's 10 of us in my friend group. It's not a competition between the 10 of us. Like when I won sophomore class president, like my whole friend group like took me out to eat. Like we all were able to celebrate together. When I know my friend Will, he just signed an offer to go work at Barclays up in New York. He's gonna get paid like a lot of money, and we are very, very proud of him. Like we made sure to celebrate him, like making sure to congratulate him. Make sure you surround yourself with people when you get in college that are going to fill your cup, not take out of it. Not just take out of it. You want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that are going to celebrate you and people that aren't going to be jealous. When you get certain things. And then also, like I said, when one person eats, everybody eats. Make sure you have people around you that are like that. And just understand like that really made my college experience like 100 times better.
Well, I appreciate it. Very insightful. Thank you for having this interview with me, and this was great. Thank you.
No problem. I appreciate it.